Good morning. My name is Alnessa Villondo and I am the Scrum Master for this team.
Hello, my name is Eduardo Matsushita. My role is in the development team.
Hello, my name is Ziyuan Yang. I'm the developer in this team.
Hi, my name is Jasleen and I'm the developer of this team.
Hi, this is me Anju and I'm the business analyst in this team.
Hi, my name is Tarun and I'm the agile customer for this team.
Hi, my name is Yunxiang Li. My role in the team is a business analyst.
Thank you very much, everybody. So today we're going to be doing a workshop on the user roles. So first of all, we need to do a brainstorming of the potential users for this application. Who do you think are going to use our app?
Students!
Students?
Roommates.
Students. You have roommates.
Friends.
Friends. Okay.
Office staff and colleagues.
Testers.
Office staff. 1 second. I don't know how to spell.
Testers.
Testers, okay.
Developers.
Anyone who shares expenses?
Sure, expenses.
Yeah, just anyone who shares the expenses.
And all the stakeholders.
Developers. Developers. Stakeholders. Anyone else?
Professor?
Professors. Yeah.
The professor, okay.
I think that's all.
Recent graduates.
Recent graduates,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty one.
Anything else?
Young people.
Young people.
Maintenance.
Sorry?
Maintenance people.
Maintenance, okay.
Project managers.
That's enough.
Project managers, anything else?
No, that's all.
That's all?
Yeah.
So, we have students, roommates, friends, office staff or colleagues, testers, people who share expenses, developers, stakeholders, professor, recent graduates, young people, maintenance, and project managers. Okay, so next we need to organize these. So, which of the users do you think are basically the same?
Students, roommates, and friends.
Students, roommates, and friends?
Young people.
Recent graduate.
One second. Students, roommates. I wouldn't consider these as basically the same, because students, they could just be students. They don't need to be friends.
Yeah, they can be like
These students don't
colleagues.
need to be roommates too. They're just students.
So just take students out.
Young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young people means like it's like a very wide thing.
Which of these from the list do you think is similar to students?
Okay.
Recent grad.
Recent graduates.
Young people.
They were also students.
Young people.
Young people.
Not necessarily. There are many students who are
Not
Many
40s,
young people.
50s.
Yeah.
They're middle-aged.
Oh.
So let's see.
Anything else that could be similar to students? No? Okay. What about roommates? Is there anything here that could
Friends.
not
Not
necessarily?
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah.
Enemies can be also roommates.
Yeah, but that's a very unhealthy relationship. Anyway, what about who share expenses? Do you think roommates and friends fall under here?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around? Is this the bigger category or does it fall
who share
under one
Who
of
expenses?
those?
share
That's a bigger
is bigger
category.
category, yeah.
Does friends fall under here?
Who share
No.
expenses, yeah. Who share expenses comes.
Friends can't share expenses
Yeah.
also. Like some of my friends they don't even pay me.
Okay, let's leave it at here because we're undecided.
Yeah.
So how about
We can have a category about tech team or tech
Yeah.
something. Or
Like in the stakeholders consists of like everything. Professor, developers,
it also
testers.
consists of everybody here.
Yeah.
yeah.
So just, yeah, stakeholder would be like considered.
Yeah, it's common.
Hmm.
Oh, where do we put young people?
Kind of student.
Okay, what about the rest of these folks?
They're all under stakeholders. Everything is under stakeholder.
Let's put testers and one.
Are developers and testers the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same, would you
Yeah.
put them in the same category?
Yeah.
Yeah. As well as
What about maintenance?
same.
Yeah, same.
What about project managers?
Same.
It's different
No,
category.
It's different.
It's different.
Okay, so it's developers. Okay. Mm. And the professor. Completely different one.
Yeah, it's completely.
Does the professor belong here or a part of this?
Part of that.
Part of
It's a
that.
different
Yeah.
category.
Yeah.
He can help us if we are stuck somewhere, like in development and stuff.
Okay. So we determined that students and recent graduates are basically similar as in terms of user roles. For those who share expenses and roommates are also similar. We're putting friends, office staff, and young people in different categories, different cards. And they have developers, testers, and maintenance having basically similar user roles. The project manager is different, the professor is different, and the stakeholders, because it's very vague, we would say everything goes under there. So, how would you categorize these types of users and these
Internal stakeholders.
internal stakeholders? What about the others?
External stakeholders.
External. Right. All right. Can someone take a picture?
Okay.
Right. And then the next part is so we need to consolidate their roles. So for example, let's start with the external stakeholders. Students and recent graduates. What do they do? What are they going to do in the app?
Share expenses.
Share expenses.
Share expenses. So it'll be fairly similar to here. Okay. So
Budget management.
Like we can do like external users, share expenses, all the external users.
share expenses.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Analyze their budget.
analyze their budget.
Keep track of their expenses.
Okay, keep going.
Find cheap stuff, like compare prices in different stores and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And a friend.
Find a friend.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else that you think they would be doing in the application?
Find a place to find their items as per their interest.
Alright, anything else? Find a variety of food. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, is there anything that the students or recent graduates would do that it's just them? You think that, what do you think that they would do that these people would not do, these people wouldn't do, these people would do, these people would do? Do you think there is a certain role that they're gonna do about it? That differs from all the other roles?
They can expense like their college like material, like books and stuff like that. They can divide, like share books and stuff. The amount they pay for the books and stuff. Yeah, track school expense. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they can like reshare on these apps and make a new app more innovative.
Get ideas.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think they would do that other users would not? What about recent graduates? Something that they would do that students wouldn't do and others would not. Anything exclusive just to them. They would do because they're recent graduates. Anything?
No.
No.
No? Okay. So, moving on. What about those who share expenses? Everything falls under here, right? So you don't.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything exclusive to it?
No.
No, for roommates, sure, they can their rent.
Rent.
But rent is paid individually to the owner. So
No.
they
No, sometimes like I used to live in a basement, and the owner would he won't care like how you're paying. He just want like the $1,500 together. That's
Usually
it.
all the landlords.
So it's like sometime if we are living all together, I don't have money. He doesn't have money, so we'll ask him, hey, can you pay for us for this month? Next month I'll pay for you.
Okay. Anything else that's just exclusive to roommates?
Oh, hydro.
Detergents, laundry,
Grocery,
stuff,
Hydro.
grocery,
daily basic needs.
internet, Wi-Fi.
Internet,
They have lots of stuff.
cable
Expenses.
TV.
I'm just gonna put them all in household expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Parties.
Party.
It's
Friends can do
household.
parties.
Oh yeah. Car.
Car.
No.
Uber? No. Travel expenses?
Sometimes maintenance.
Friends can do that too.
Sometimes maintenance cost like something they broke and
That's
they have
household.
to pay for that.
That comes under household.
Yeah.
Maintenance, yeah.
Maintenance. Okay. Anything else?
I think so that's it.
Okay. What about friends? Anything that they would do that the others would not?
Office stuff and friends stay like party expenses.
Party expenses.
Yeah.
Roommates can party too.
Yeah.
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 Students can also party. Yeah. It's party.
Okay then, people. Wow, I can't believe it's going to who share expenses. Party.
But like for office staff, they can like share the business expense,
Business expense.
like travel and stuff like that. If they went out and they need to like, divide.
You don't think friends do that? Maybe
Yeah,
like
they
office
do.
supplies, maybe.
Yeah.
Office supply, but it's
And
under
it's-
like business. So office, like your office will pay for that.
That's true. Because travel expenses, friends do that too. We divide travel expenses.
Office staff.
Friends also contribute to food.
Yeah, like lunchtime. Yeah, that also like students do.
It comes from some.
They will be same. So young people, they do every kind of thing. So
So do you think there's anything exclusive to these three? Any of these three?
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay. Okay, moving on to internal users. So, is there anything that the developers would do exclusively that the testers, maintenance, project manager, and professor would not?
Develop the app.
Develop the app. Okay, anything else?
Debug.
Debug. Okay. Anything else for developers?
That's it.
That's it? Okay, what about testers?
Testing,
Testing? Anything else?
finding bugs.
It's already done.
Yeah.
No, like
No.
developers are
Oh,
fixing
yeah.
them.
Testing-
Testers are
Testers don't fix bugs.
no,
No,
fine.
they'll find.
They find bugs. Yeah.
Okay. Find bugs. Fix bugs.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, what about maintenance?
Maintain the app,
Regular maintenance.
regular updates. Make the app up to date with the market.
What about if something goes wrong?
In which point?
There's an error. Who handles that? It's already deployed, but there's an error. Who handles that?
Maintenance.
Maintenance and the
Maintenance.
developers.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
What about the project manager?
Manage the entire project, budget,
Budget management.
proposals.
No, I mean, what are they gonna do with the application?
Oh,
What are they going to do with the application as project managers? They're not gonna be developing it, they're not gonna handle any errors. What do they do in the application? How do they use it? Are they in charge of presenting to the agile customer? Or no, not the agile, just the customer itself. Introducing it
Yeah.
to the market.
Customer market, yeah.
marketing. It's like CSR.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
What about the professor?
Evaluation.
Evaluation. Evaluates the application. Anything else? What else could he possibly do?
But like help means like testing or developing which
Consultation.
consultation.
Anything else? Anything to add?
I think that's it.
That's it? Okay.
Let's take a picture.
So, yeah, please, documentation. Alright, in summary, so everything on this board, all the users belong to stakeholders, and we have two types of users, you have internal and external. Those belonging to external are those who are going to use the app without any regard to how it was developed. So we have the students, recent graduates, people who share expenses, roommates, friends, office staff, colleagues, and the young people. So students, what they exclusively do in the app is they track school expenses like books and tuition if applicable. And they can also use the application for ideas for schoolwork. For recent graduates, they could use it as a reference to any future endeavors in their work if they are going into applications similar to this. People who share expenses, well, we've identified that everybody in this category parties, so they could be sharing expenses for that. For roommates, what they're doing exclusively is sharing rent, household expenses, sharing maintenance for their household. Friends, office staff, colleagues, young people, there is no exclusive role for them. But overall, for external users, they share expenses, they analyze the budget, they keep track of expenses, they do price match, find a friend, find items as per interest, find a variety of food. For internal users, they are identified based on what they do with the application, which is from development to deployment, design, anything that has to do with SDLC. So we have developers, testers, maintenance, project manager, and professor. For developers, they develop the app, they do debugs, and they fix bugs. Testers, they do testing, they find the bugs, and for maintenance, they do updates. They perform maintenance duties for the application, and they also do error handling. Project manager basically introduces the app to the market and does demonstrations if need be. Professor evaluates the application and does consultation for the project. Anything else you guys need to add, take out? Do you think we need to take out friends, office staff, young people?
Yeah.
Because
Young people.
we didn't identify anything exclusive to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
Alright, great. So the next part of this is the other one. Oh, sorry, go up.
Consolidation.
No, wait. Stop. Okay. So next we need to identify, for each of the users, identify the frequency of which the user will use the software, user level of expertise in the domain, user's general level of proficiency with computers and software, user's level of proficiency with the software being developed, and user's general role for using the software. Let's start with external. So for students, what do you think is
Frequency?
yes, the frequency with which they would use it?
1 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
1 to 3 times a week. What about for recent graduates, roommates? Do they differ? Are they the same? How is it?
It's the same.
Do you think roommates use it more often than students?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
By how much?
Like by 2 times.
So you think they would use it 3 to 6 times a week?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the proficiency level of the users? Like, how well do they need to know about?
There should be like a basic user, like basic understanding of maths and English
Math.
language, for sure. Because this app is only in English language.
Okay.
And
Little bit understanding about accounting.
Yeah.
Math and English, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same for both?
Yeah.
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 And accounting.
And
Familiar
a bit of
with the
accounting.
familiar with the technology.
Hmm?
Familiar with the technology.
Is it the same for both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a general one. They have to be the same.
Anything else?
should be like familiar with all kind of web browsers and
Like
stuff like that.
Yeah, they will. How to use
browser, web
Wow.
navigation, and the function of the computer.
Anything else?
They should know how to use the Excel sheets.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it? Okay. So the only difference between these two is the frequency of usage. Okay. The next part is oh, okay. So we've basically discussed the general level of proficiency with software, level of proficiency with the software being developed. Do they need to know an app? They need to know how to use a bookkeeping app before they use ours? Let's say, for example, it's the first time I'm using Facebook. I've never used it. Obviously, I've never used it before, but it's easy for me to use because I have a Twitter account. I already use Twitter.
Yeah.
So does that case need to happen for our users? Do they need to use a bookkeeping app before they can use ours, just for familiarity and whatever, or is our app good enough for
Yeah, it's
first-time
good.
users?
Not
It's good enough
necessarily,
for
but
first-time
if they
users.
have already known them, that will be the plus point.
Okay.
But like it will have all the pictures and how to use it.
If they have the basic knowledge, it's okay.
Yeah.
The minimum requirement.
Okay, anything else? So, the general goal, what do you think is the general goal for these students? Would it be the same as what we discussed before?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Share expenses, analyze budget, keep track of expenses, price match, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to internal users. What would be the frequency of usage for developers, testers, maintenance, project manager, professor?
It all depends on their
Depends. All right, let's start with developers.
Thrice a week or 5 times a week. While in the development.
If they are in development phase,
It's
then
3
3 times a week.
3 times or 3 days?
3
days.
Days.
Because times means just, like
Well,
one time
3
to be
days.
1 hour.
3 days a week.
Yeah, 3
So
days.
3 days a week, so that's 72 hours. 3 days a week. What about testers? How often do they use it?
Like maximum 6 to 7 hours a week.
Like 1 day in a week.
Half a day.
Half to 1 day a week. Okay. What about maintenance people?
They are the end. So it would be like twice a month.
Twice a month?
2 days a month. Only for 24 hours for regular check and
Okay. What about the project manager? How often do you think is he gonna use the app? He or
once a
she?
month.
Once a month. And the professor? Once or twice in his lifetime?
Like, maybe like 10 times a semester. While if we need any kind of help or guidance, he needs to go in the app and
Okay.
see
1 time per week.
that's like 10 times a semester.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Okay, next.
What kind of knowledge they need.
Knowledge they need. In general.
Yes, so.
Developers should be experts in the programming skills. Same as testers and maintenance people.
You should have knowledge of the languages C#.
C#, okay.
ASP.NET.
SQL.
All the web designing tools.
Is it MySQL?
No.
No.
Use SQL.
Just SQL? Alright, anything? Is it the same for testers and maintenance people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same level of programming skills?
No, the maintenance doesn't need like that. They could be like intermediate.
Develop needs advanced level.
Okay.
Developers and testers needs like advanced.
Sorry, for testers,
Same.
advanced? Same?
Yeah.
What about the project manager?
Basic knowledge.
Basic knowledge of
Yeah.
programming and
Professor?
Advanced knowledge.
advanced
Advanced.
experts.
Obviously, they will be expert.
No,
They'll-
no pressure, sir.
If we need any kind of help, we will just let him.
Yeah.
Alright.
They are the one to help us, right?
True. What about in knowledge of the domain, bookkeeping, accounting, and all that?
The developers also need knowledge of accounting and little maths. Because they
How
need to.
proficient should they be in math?
They should be like
Intermediate.
intermediate. Like
Is it the same for testers, or do they need that knowledge, or no?
they should be like
Yeah.
beginners because we need to clarify all the logics in the development. If there is anything like testers just needs to find bugs, so they would be like only basic knowledge.
What about maintenance people?
Basic.
Basic is enough.
What about the PM?
Intermediate.
Why?
Like
Project
project
manager,
manager
basic
is like
is fine.
everywhere. So like in the development phase also he needs to like do a cross check. He needs to have the knowledge.
It doesn't make sense. Why would he need intermediate and we only need basic,
Basic
and
is
basic
fine.
for maintenance and tester?
Yeah, basic.
Doesn't
Basic is-
even need a knowledge. Oh yeah, basic is fine. He should need like
Yeah,
basic.
basic knowledge is fine.
Actually, he doesn't really need to do the math. He just needs to understand the accounting part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just basic
Because
knowledge
he needs to
about
understand
that.
the functions.
Yeah. And
And-
professor should be expert.
No pressure.
Accounting.
Expert. And okay, go. Anything else?
That's all.
That's
They all should have the teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
So in general, the goal is general goal, teamwork. What else?
The goals are teamwork, the deployment of app, but it should be bug free.
User
A good
friendly.
user
User
friendly
friendly.
Yeah.
interface.
Good interface.
I think that's it.
yeah.
Alright. Anything else to add, guys?
That's all.
I don't think so, but I don't know about you guys.
No, that's
Want to add something?
all.
That's it.
That's it.
Make sure.
That's it.
Yeah, everything is covered.
Everything is covered.
Yeah.
Okay, so in summary, for our external users, we've narrowed it down to 4. We have students, recent graduates, people who share expenses, and roommates. Internal, we've kept all our users that we've stated, which are developers, maintenance, project manager, and the professor. We've also identified exclusive roles that they would be doing in the application, and the frequency, basic knowledge that they need to have to understand the application and to use it. Same with the internal users. So far, we have everything that we need in the workshop. So our next deliverable is the user role document, which will consist of the diagrams for these, the user cards, which will be done by Larry, and the write-ups will be done by myself. So by next week, the rest of the team, for developers, we need a basic framework of what the front end should look like. And for the analysts, we need the basic functions that it should have. So while Larry and I are doing the documentation, the rest of the team, we will be expecting some output on their end. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright, that is all for today. That concludes our workshop. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.